An Animal Crossing-like game is coming to Steam. Animal Crossing New Horizons might be getting DLC and more. I'm Andrew Dornan, and this is my show, What's New? So, for starters, I would like to say, just for the record, this is my second attempt at recording this. The first attempt I realized I wasn't zoomed in, and also the camera was too high. So, everything went wrong. Ignore the horrible lighting. I am recording this at 5:32 in the afternoon, which means during the winter, when it's cloudy, there is virtually no natural light. In fact, I can show you. This is what it would look like without light. I could turn this little lamp on, but it wouldn't do much good. It just gets way too freaking dark. But ignore that. This is my show. I can do whatever I want. I don't have a co-host anymore, so I have to compensate. Also, we're gonna ignore that line. The show itself, the last time I wasn't sure exactly what my release cycle would be. I think I've got it down to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's what I'm shooting for. I hope I get it done and stick to it, because that would be really nice if I could bring this back on a regular basis. So with all that bullcrap out of the way, let's just jump right into the show. Alright, our first story today is an Animal Crossing-like game coming to Steam. This is a brand new indie title called HoCo Life, H-O-K-K-O Life. I'm not sure how to pronounce it exactly. That's the pronunciation I've been going with. You might have a different way of saying it. I welcome any and all corrections. But this is a game that is not necessarily releasing in its entirety. It's releasing as an early access title sometime within this year. It's still to be determined, but the developers have said that they would like to see a full release sometime within the first half of 2021. Now, I personally am one who really loves seeing new indie games come out with their vibrant color schemes and seeing what sort of, fun mechanics they bring about. And it seems like it's a pretty nice blend between Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley. And I say that because if you look at the trailer, you see that not only do you have these animal villagers, which is something Animal Crossing is known for, and all the other things like catching bugs and doing fishing, but also there's crafting and there's farming, and you can even design your own furniture and paint stuff, which is really neat. That being said, there have been some interesting things popping up, and by that I mean one specific thing that really stood out to me while I was researching it, and that's, for some strange reason, on their announcement trailer on their official YouTube channel, they have way more dislikes than they have regular likes. I don't know what that's about. Maybe people are really upset that someone is trying to mimic the Animal Crossing formula, but I'm not 100% sold on that. It could just be that people, when they don't like a thing, they don't like a thing, and they don't like having their mind changed. So honestly, it could be any sort of thing. I personally am excited to see a brand new indie game trying to make it out there. It looks very high quality, looks professional, and I can't wait to see what happens with that game. So yeah, that's what I have to say on that. Our second story of today is that Animal Crossing New Horizons might be getting DLC. This is a bit of a tricky one, because when you go to the Nintendo eShop page on a desktop computer, you scroll all the way down, you see the ESRB, and it says, Comic Mischief, and then, or whatever it says, the standard Animal Crossing flair of what makes it E for everyone. But then also there's a little thing that says that it includes in-game purchases. I've seen people go all sorts of directions on this. I personally thought for the very first time that it meant that you could buy Nintendo Switch online through the game, and that's an idea I still have now. Some people have said that it could just be DLC packs. Others have said that it's full-on expansions, like we saw with Fire Emblem Three Houses, Pokemon Sword and Shield, that sort of stuff. And then some people have tried to say that it could be microtransactions, although they have a very interesting way of doing business, but they are definitely not a company that would put microtransactions into their $60 games. They do have mobile games, and there are microtransactions in the mobile games, but not in any sort of like console release, so I don't think it's microtransactions. Honestly, seeing the trend of DLC from like starting with Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8, well, I guess Mario Kart 8 came before Breath of the Wild, but you know, all the way through today with Fire Emblem Three Houses, Luigi's Mansion 3, it could just be an expansion. And there could be one, there could be several, who knows, we'll just have to wait and see. Our third story of today is that Phil Spencer has gone onto the record stating that there are a lot of backwards compatible games being made for the Xbox Series X. By that, he means that there are a lot of old games, so you know, your Xbox 360, and Xbox One games are being worked on to be compatible with the Xbox Series X, which would be amazing because it would be the first system in a long time that would be like fully backwards compatible with its entire backlog. This is something that a lot of people want with their newer end systems, and for the longest time I couldn't understand that sort of mentality, but as I've slowly started to run out of space in my own room, I understand the desire to have a console that plays all of the games from its previous iterations. On top of that, Phil Spencer's exact quote says that that the backwards compatibility system is in active development, but that not all games today are completely compatible, and that I can understand because there are just some games that don't like working on modern systems. There are some Xbox games that you would think all Xbox games would work on the Xbox 360, but just for some bizarre reason they don't. And the same can be said with, you know, other games not necessarily working on, you know, systems that claim to be backwards compatible. So overall, this seems really interesting to know that the Xbox Series X could be backwards compatible. I don't think it would be fully backwards compatible because there are just a lot of games that have been lost to time, and trying to get them to work on newer machines might be a bit difficult. Even if you ran some sort of in-house emulator within the Xbox Series X, it could still get a bit tricky. But those are just my thoughts. I'm definitely excited to see what comes of the Xbox Series X. If it is fully compatible, that would be an amazing feat on its own. But definitely, like a bunch of other stories we have, it is a wait and see kind of deal. Alright, our last bit of gaming news for today is just a quick one. It's a Best Buy sale. The biggest thing right now, the two things that I thought were worth sharing just going through the sales page, is that the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Xbox One bundle is $150 off. So that's really nice. That's about like a $540-ish value that you can get for like math is hard on my head, $360. And then also the other thing that I noticed is that the PS4 DualShocks are on sale for $16 off, as well as some like Turtle Beach headphones. So yeah, if you caught this episode as it came out, great, run on over to Best Buy, see if those deals are still on. If you're catching this the day later, I would say go ahead and just jump on over to the Best Buy's page. I will have a link below or above if you're viewing on Facebook to the sales page, and see if those sales are still happening. And finally, we have website and channel news. Our first story is that Phase 2 is about to start. If you did not catch the first episode of Season 2, I talked about my 5-phase plan for the website. Basically, Phase 2, we're basically done with Phase 1, which is just, you know, doing a facelift on the overall aesthetic of the website. Phase 2 is about cleaning up the About Me page and the Support the Content page, as well as retooling the navigation bar. I have spent the better part of today working on the navigation bar itself, trying to figure out a way where it looks good and is also functional. So that's been a bit of a challenge. The current navigation bar works fine enough, but there's just something about it where it doesn't feel balanced, especially if we have a tab for Let's Plays and a tab for other content, and within other content you have Mini Pack and Saturday Morning Splatoon, which isn't out yet, and then news and updates, and then everything under news and updates you have this show, and then you have reviews and gaming news and just general website channel updates. So that's being completely redone. I have it worked out on paper. And the fix itself will probably happen within a few days. So if something breaks, do let me know. There is a contact form on the website. So if something breaks, just let me know and I'll run in and fix it. Our last story of today, both in terms of website channel news and in terms of the show, is that funding goals are being drafted for the website and for the channel itself. At the end of all of my videos that I upload directly for the website, I talk about, if you want to know more ways to support me and my content, I have a link to the support the content page. And I figured that just that probably isn't a good enough idea as to what all the money would be going to. So I've decided to draft up some funding goals. Now I made quite a few, but the top three I want to share is actually the first three goals. So the first goal is just $1 a month. That's very basic to get. It's just to get the ball rolling, saying, hey, we know that this goal exists. Somebody's put forth the $1 a month to just kind of like, get that going, because in any sort of like fundraising crowdfunded thing, the first problem is getting that first dollar, and after that it can slowly build up, or it can quickly build up, who knows. The next goal is $10 a month. With that, it covers the cost of the website as it stands now. The current plan is about $8 a month plus the little bit of money it costs for the domain. Now that $10 a month is also just, it's there, and when that gets funded, that's great. And that's not $10 a month on top of the $1 a month. That's just, once $1 a month is hit, then we only need 9 more to get to the $10 a month goal. And then once that's hit, we open up the $30 a month, which is upgrading the website plan. So right now it's like that personal kind of portfolio plan, and the next one up costs significantly more, and it's the small business plan. It gives more storage space. It's only 200 gigabytes, but it would definitely hold us over for the time being. And so that would allow us to add in more content like the Taste of Gameplay and Saturday Morning Splatoon, and also this show being hosted directly on the website instead of it having to be hosted through YouTube. So with that, actually completes phase 3 and most of phase 4 at the same time, because phase 4 requires phase 3 to happen no matter what, because phase 3 gets us that funding and also upgrades the website plan. Also, for the funding goals, just in general, graphics would be made and added to the support the content page to kind of give you a visual idea as to how much money has been raised. That is going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're viewing this on Facebook, I have links to all of my sources as well as the support the content page up above. If you're viewing this on the website, then the show notes are directly below this video, where you can go and check out the sources for yourself, as well as learning ways to support me and my content through the support the content page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys Wednesday for another episode of Andrew Dornan's What's New. Bye-bye.